Welcome to the On Deck podcast, where we are charting the course for Marauder Athletics. My name is Dane, a graduate assistant in the athletics department here at Millersville University, and I'll be your host. Joining me for today's episode is a standout member of the Millersville women's soccer team, who has been instrumental in helping the Marauders clinch the first PSAC playoff berth in 4 years. She's a leader on and off the pitch, known for her relentless work rate and calm presence in high-pressure moments in the game. From across the pond in the United Kingdom, please welcome Lia Francis. Lia, it's nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. First off, congratulations on the playoffs. That's a huge deal here for the Marauders and a huge accomplishment. Before we get into that, I just wanted to take things back to where you started your soccer journey, obviously being from the UK. How did that start for you? And then obviously, how did it stick for you as well?
I mean, obviously, we call it football back home. Mm-hmm. It's just so popular. For like friends growing up, my brothers growing up, they all played it. I had quite a lot of friends back then that were boys, so I would be around them a lot more. And again, I didn't want to be sort of left out, so I sort of got into it. I was like, having an older brother as well, you sort of kind of follow your older sibling around. And I sort of started playing, I think around 5-6 for a boys club back home, and I kind of just sort of stuck with that. And really from there, it sort of just clicked, and I just really enjoyed myself, and I loved the team presence and the competitiveness of it, and it was just really fun for me back then. And sort of growing up, I guess, when I was around 10, I finally joined a girls team, and I stuck with them for a while as well. I never really looked to take it too seriously because I kind of had doubts on my ability at first, but once I got to the age being able to play for a ladies team, that's where it sort of took off a bit more, being able to play with ladies and compete on a higher level. So before I actually got out here, I played on I think it was Division 4 team on the women's league back home, so that was really fun and competitive, and that sort of gave me the idea that there was an opportunity to come out here and play. But yeah, again, it really just started off with, being around friends and siblings, trying to be part of the group, kind of play football and just really enjoying myself, and it just really stuck.
That's awesome. And I guess my kind of thing that I find interesting is, how does the recruiting process kind of work for you? Obviously, it's a little different where if I know I want to go to college and play soccer, I can just kind of visit that school on a whim and go out whenever I want to. How did that kind of get kicked off with Coach Procopio, and then how did that proceed after that?
There's two ways you can go about it. You can obviously do it by yourself, which is it's possible, but it's the harder way, especially if you don't know anything about it or what you're doing. But the most common way is going for an agency. So back home, there'll be lots of agencies that will help provide you the contacts of being coaches. So what they really do is offer you these different package deals of how much they can support you. So they have all these connections with loads of coaches around in America, and they sort of set you up a video, a playlist of your clips, and sort of send that out and put it on their page. And then if a coach out here is interested in getting an international player, they will go to those agencies and sort of look through. The agencies, they also host a showcase game. So we have one in the summer and winter, and that's where either coaches come out to England and watch it, or they watch it live, or it's recorded as well so they can go back to it as well. But that's the main way I did it. I heard about it before through friends and mates on teams, and I wasn't really interested to start off with. But my last 2 years in college, well, we call it sixth form college, so that's your last 2 high school years, I think it is.
Okay.
And basically, we had a talk about an agency coming in to tell the footballers at the school that this is an opportunity you could take. And I started getting interested in that, and I knew someone else who's done it. And then we started searching out different agencies, and then we sort of stuck with one. And then I was like, okay, I'll turn up to the trial, see how it is, to see if it's a possibility, because I wasn't going to throw all my eggs in one basket kind of thing, commit to such a big thing. But really from there, just added up really, and I was like, this is a really good opportunity, and I kind of took it. So once I fully committed to the agency and they set up my video, I did the showcases. After my last showcase, the coaches started approaching me, and then that's when Proco got in contact with me, and we started emailing back and forth and got on a few Zoom calls and sort of just from there I narrowed down my decision to Millersville, and so far I've been really enjoying myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'll ask, because a lot of people will like to go and visit a campus before they kind of commit to that. Was that a part of your process, or was it a little different, obviously?
It was slightly out of my budget personally, but honestly, just I spoke to a couple players. So I remember speaking to one of the seniors as well that's still here with us, and they kind of told me a bit about the campus, and then obviously seeing images and that. I mean, it looked very pretty. It was easy, you know, not too big, not too small, and I liked the location really. And I was like, I mean, as much as it's nice to be on a nice campus, but at the same time I want to be there for my education and for the football side, so that was kind of more of a priority for me, but it really just depends person to person. And I know other people that have probably flown out or whatever, but I wasn't too fussed about coming to see the campus first, really.
Gotcha. And so when you then came over, obviously your freshman year, was that your first time over in the States?
No, I've been on holiday here before. I think when I was 11, we went on a big holiday for 3 weeks because we do have family friends out here. But again, that was when I was 11.
Yeah.
So, but no, me and my mum flew out together. I think it was like 4 days. Yeah, 4 days before pre-season started, so it's a quick turnaround, but no, it was a lot to begin with, but it settled down.
Yeah, it kind of settled down a little bit. Now, obviously, being over here, I talked to Xander, and I want to get your perspective on it, because obviously it's a little different, but what is the style of play difference from football over there and then soccer over here and how it's played?
For me, definitely that stood out to me was like the physicality. Like I say in England it's more physical, but over here like it's more fitness, like you're running more, it's quicker, this and that, but like in England, like the physicality, the strength, like for example a foul, like it took me a while to get used to like that more fouls were given away, but it really is, again, like I say in England it's like more the small 1-2s, the quick play kind of thing, whereas here it's literally taking advantage of your fitness and being able to take players on one-on-one, and also the long balls over the top, like definitely much quicker and harder to keep up with. But again, I say those are the main two differences, but again, you're starting to see more teams, especially in the conferences, trying to like play more football and like keep possession, whereas others do rely on that transition kind of fast-paced attacking game.
Yeah, and I think we saw last night, I covered the Shepherd game, they were very much that, you know, those quick 1-2s, trying to play kind of in a phone booth a little bit and kind of spring things out that way. So obviously it's a huge success for you guys this season, being able to make it to the playoffs. Can you talk a little bit about the PSAC, how the season's gone for you so far, and then obviously it's a strong division, a strong conference. So just, you know, speak on that a little bit.
I mean, pre-season I guess was kind of slow start because we did have a lot of freshmen come in, so that would kind of like, I wouldn't say took a step back with how we did, but it was a slow start. But we had like 4 big games against like the top 4 teams, I think, or the top 5 teams, and that was like really straight in. But we managed to do well against Westchester, and that really helped to like bring up the mood, like lift us up and get through it. And then we sort of settled down playing the lower teams and sort of got some consecutive wins, and that really kept pushing us to over like halfway through the season. But it's been very up and down, I must say, like against all the big teams, trying and compete, try and show that we do earn a spot in the playoffs, and we do have like a good opportunity to beat you. Kind of, you know, we're not the underdogs. We're like competing against you at the same level. But later on, I guess we stayed well. We stayed strong. We did well against Kutztown with a 0-0 draw, and then again winning against the lower teams to help keep us there. But I mean, unfortunately we did lose against Westchester, which was annoying because we won against them to begin with. But luckily again they gave us the 5th spot to get in, to help get into the playoffs, which really was fortunate for us. But I mean, there was still a lot of chances we didn't take throughout the season, which was frustrating in the moment, but again grateful that we've got another chance to compete and show up again against Bloom this Saturday.
Yeah, of course, and like you say, you just get in and anything can kind of happen, obviously. Westchester and Kutztown sitting 1 and 2 right now, respectively. And like you said, you had some good games against them so far, so you're definitely looking at that. Now we look ahead at Bloom on Saturday. What's that outlook kind of look for you guys? You guys have already played Bloom. What is now going back, circling again and playing them again? What's that kind of look like?
I mean, for me at least, I definitely want it. I remember like going back yesterday after the game, just being excited to play Bloom again, because when we last played them, we conceded like 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. It was really frustrating. So I've still got like that anger towards them. And again, like Proko, our coach, like he wants like to like finally win against them. So I feel like we have that motivation to show up, and I feel like it's a good opportunity again to show that we can play and we can beat a high level team, and also show that like we are there to compete in the playoffs, and this won't be a one-off opportunity. But no, the preparations, we started today slightly more relaxed than usual because we had a game yesterday, but it'll really pick up on tomorrow's training. But I'm ready for it, and I feel like everyone wants to get something back from what they did to us last game.
Yeah, awesome. Of course. And then now just kind of, you mentioned a lot of freshmen coming in. What were those goals at the beginning of the year? Obviously, every team's goal is to, win the conference championship. Was there a different goal in mind? Was it just, hey, we want to go in and we want to compete with every team, which you guys did end up doing? And then did those goals kind of shift as you kind of started to see the conference playoffs kind of be in the forefront? Yeah,
through preseason, we kind of just decided what our goals were. Obviously, that is the main goal everyone wants, but for us, it was definitely trying to break through and get into playoffs, especially now there was the 5th place open. And then it was just the little things like consecutive wins, shutouts, those kind of wins just to like help us get through, like kind of looking back on previous seasons and seeing how many games we needed to win to secure a spot in the playoffs, and it was kind of just building off from there. But really, like, our main goal was to get in the playoffs and to compete against the big teams and get those shoutouts, which unfortunately we didn't do the best on, but we're there now. It's what we do now.
Yeah, and going into yesterday's game, you guys were on a 3-game win streak. So you have the momentum built up, and even yesterday's game was a good game. You've personally had a strong season. I talked about it a little bit when I met you in the lobby, but the goal yesterday, if you haven't seen it, it's on our Twitter, and it is insane. So if you just kind of want to talk me through what your thought process was. I know you kind of let those rip pretty frequently and try to bury them, but you kind of had the odds-on attack, and then obviously were able to net that one there. So how'd that feel?
I mean, it felt really good, honestly. Just getting another goal in. Like, I always love scoring, but playing a more defensive role has been harder to get on the goal sheet. But no, it was definitely a insane goal. I don't know if I could do it again, but I mean, really, it was just we caught them on the transition. We managed to dribble the ball up the pitch. Sort of didn't really have too many people up there, so I was like, I might as well shoot and, test the keeper, because we didn't have many opportunities that half. So we've always told each other to try and test the keeper as much as we can, get the shots off, because you never know if you don't shoot. But so that was, goal and half.
Yeah, and it worked, and it was that turning point. You tested the keeper, you got the goal, and then you guys were on the offense for the rest of the game, it felt like. And so, what is one moment that you felt so far in your career here at Millersville where you felt that you've been really tested personally as an athlete? And there might not be a moment, but I feel like at any athlete's point, whether it's an injury, adjustments, balancing school and sport, it's not an easy transition to come over here from the UK. What kind of was that like, and what were some of those harder moments for you?
I mean, there definitely wasn't one moment. There's been quite a few. I can't lie about that. But I think with the transition part, it was definitely so much easier to be on a team and to be surrounded with people, because that also automatically gives you friends and gives you someone you know. And then the busy schedule keeps you occupied, so I didn't really have much chance to miss home, I guess. So that was really helpful for me in my freshman year. But now I've sort of settled in and taking slightly harder classes. There's been a few ups and downs, trying to keep on track of that. And then again, Fitness wise, I mean, it was a struggle my first year, but like I managed to get through it, but it was hard, and also trying to compete for a role as well as a freshman. But I was fortunate enough to be able to get on the pitch and get a lot of minutes. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's really just trusting the process and just remembering to like enjoy myself and remember this is a really good opportunity to have and to take advantage of it. So I try to, as much as it can be frustrating with the stress and all the work on top of the football, I really have to like remember that, you know, I chose to do it. Like I can't really complain almost, but there's definitely been some ups and downs, but it's just been all fun because at the end of the day I can go play football with my team, and that's just what I love the most, really.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I have some rapid fire questions for you now. We'll just rip them off. You can give me as long of an answer you want or as little of an answer you want. What's your favorite football club?
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich?
Yes, because basically everyone's always surprised when I say it, but my mum's German, so her grandparents support Bayern Munich, but on my dad's side, they never really watched football, surprisingly, growing up, so they didn't really have like a set team, so we just sort of took them. I remember like seeing photos of me like in a Bayern Munich kit when I was like little, so it kind of just stuck really with that, but yeah. Yeah,
it's funny because obviously the Premier League is big over in the UK. You watch any Premier League, or is it more?
Yeah, no, we do watch them. My local club, I would say, is Southampton, but they're in the Premiership right now, so... but no, I've gone to a few games, but yeah, everyone's always surprised because the Premier League's right there, and I'm choosing another club from a different country, but...
That's awesome. Yeah. Have you been out to a Bayern Munich game?
Yes, once, and then I went to like, you know, there's like the old timer games where it's like the retired players.
Yeah.
I've been to one of them as well, but no, the Allianz Arena is great atmosphere. Like I really enjoyed myself, but I think we lost, unfortunately, which was annoying, but yeah, that's a great experience.
Yeah, that's a cool spot. I had traveled to Germany in high school and just saw the Allianz Arena, and I wish that I had done a like tour of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like just being out there too is pretty cool.
The atmosphere was really good.
Yeah, awesome. Go to pregame meal.
I mean, I don't really have a pregame meal.
Okay.
Especially being a student athlete, there's not much I can choose, but I mean, normally I would say back home it would just be any type of pasta, really.
Okay.
Like any type of pasta, just something that doesn't upset my stomach, really.
Gotcha. And then favorite PSAC opponent to play against?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, Shepherd was fun. Again, like the little rivalry, but I gotta say, I think Kutztown, that was the most fun actually. The recent home game against them, I think that really made me like playing against them. Yeah,
that was a good one. Next one, dream match. What stadium would you want to play in? We talked about Allianz, but what stadium?
I mean, Wembley's up there.
Okay.
Old Trafford, or the Allianz Arena. I think those like top three, just because they have the most meaning to me.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I say there's history behind all three of them. So
yeah, there's some pretty cool ones. And then finally, who's your football GOAT? Who do you have up there?
I mean, I kind of sort of, as much as I love like watching them play, I don't really have an idol, but I say Messi's got to be my GOAT. But at the end of the day, I feel like I can almost compare myself to like up to them because they were so high. But no, he's a great player and always enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, and you say you don't have an idol, but do you have anyone that you try to model your game after a little bit like that?
Honestly, like really, I really don't, because I feel like that almost puts more pressure on me trying to like get as good as they are. You know, trying to be like exactly like them. But no, I try to just enjoy and do my best and what I can do for the team. But no, don't really look up, model anyone if it gets too much.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming on, Lia. It was great. It was really great to have you on, and you gave some great answers. So awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode and want more, be sure to follow us on Instagram and X at @VilMarauders, and check out our podcast page on our main athletics website for video and audio of today's recording. That link will be in the description. As always, thank you for coming aboard the deck with us today. Until next time, anchors away and go Vil.